Every week, it's another city for me. I get asked the same questions every week by people. Are people the same everywhere? No. Some places suck and they have shittier people. I just gave you a sociology degree. How about that? You like that? Here's one universal truth about people, though. This one is true, and that is that everybody just wants to connect. It doesn't matter where you go or what language you speak, people just want to connect. And you know when you have chemistry with somebody. You know if you're like, I want to hang out with this person, or I want to date this person, or I want to harness this person to the bottom of my big rig and drive them around for a while and bury them 18 miles west of Lake Worth, and when I drive by, I'll get a boner. We all have these thoughts, right? Sometimes there's nothing there, and people try to force a connection. I think that's just rude. I'm checking in a hotel a few weeks ago. The guy comes from behind the counter. He goes, where are you from? I said, Los Angeles. And he goes, yeah, I got family in Denver. And I was like, what a coincidence. And he goes, yeah, they got a furniture store. And I was like, I like to sit on furniture. We're 2 for 2. I have shoes on. Do you have shoes on? Do you like to walk around? Let's fucking party. There's nothing there. Sometimes there's nothing there, and that's okay. You're not supposed to connect with everybody on the planet. That would be absurd. You should embrace that. I've been doing this, you should do this too. Next time you're at a bar, or you're just out, walking around, and somebody goes, hey man, just go, nope. I'm all friended up. And if they're like, I just want to know what time it is, be like, I only tell my friends what time it is. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I went to the doctor, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to get a checkup, see what's going on. The honest truth is, I knew it wasn't going to be awesome, okay? I knew the doctor wasn't going to be like, you might be surprised to hear this, but you're perfect. Like, you're a perfect physical specimen, man. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I didn't expect him to be a dick. Usually they're not. I feel like in my experience, doctors are polite, almost overly polite, where it's phony and condescending. When they go, oh, really interesting story you got there. Doctors do that because you're telling them a story, and doctors don't want to hear a story. Doctors want to hear, this hurts. Not, I was over at my friend Charlie's house, and we went to move the ottoman, and, I mean, you can use it as a coffee table, or you could use it as an ottoman, it's up to you. And your doctor's like, I want to blow my fucking brains out right now. I go in there, I sit on the exam table, which is my least favorite table to sit on in the world. It's the only table that in 30 years I've sat on where my feet don't touch the ground. So I feel like a fucking toddler waiting like... My doctor comes in, he doesn't say hello, he doesn't say good morning, he just walks in, he points at me, which is super aggressive, you know? To start a conversation with somebody like, hey man, you're like, hey, what's up, man? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, what? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, I don't get it. And he goes, has nobody told you that your hair's falling out? And I was like, damn. No. And he goes, oh. Sorry. All right. Then he pulls my chart out of the slot, super dramatic, so that it makes a fucking noise. He goes, I'm like, and he goes, wow. And I'm like, really? Wow. Is it full-blown AIDS? Like, why is it wow? And he goes, you weigh 245. And I go like, yeah, like I knew that shit. And he goes, you weighed 230 last time you were here. Not exactly what I would call weight loss. And I'm like, are we at a fucking roast or something? Right? Like, what are you doing? Then he says, you know, you're the fattest patient I've seen all day. And I go, it's 9:30 in the morning. And he goes, still. He's like, you know, we ran your blood work. It turns out your muscle enzymes are through the roof. And I go, yeah, man, like, I'm super strong. Like, how is that a problem? And he goes, they're off the charts. I'm like, even better. I'm probably your strongest patient, man. And he goes, I don't think you understand muscle enzymes. And I go, that's true. I don't know what they are. And he goes, well, the only way you could have them this high would be like, A, if you were an Olympic athlete, which clearly, I'm like, dude, what is the deal, man? And he goes, the other way would be if you were a cocaine addict. And I go, I don't do coke. And he goes, I'm your doctor. You don't have to lie to me. And I go, I'm not lying. And he goes, I can't treat you if you're not going to be honest. And I go, hey, man, aren't cokeheads skinny? Isn't that like part of the deal? And he goes, usually, yeah. The nurse comes in. She takes my chart out of his hands. And she goes, oh, my God. His muscle enzymes are so high. Maybe he runs marathons. And my doctor goes, look at him. So at this point, I go, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me today. I'm going to leave now. And he goes, all right. And he goes, hold on a second. Do you have a ring on your finger? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're married. And I go, yeah. And he goes, to a guy? And I go, no. And he goes, oh, I thought you were gay. And I go, why? And he goes, oh. I'm like, all right, dude. And he goes, hey, I'm just kidding. And I go, that's fine. He goes, but check it out. And he takes my chart and he shows it to me, and he had written gay ? On my medical chart. The thing that gets sent to other doctors has his inside, maybe he sucks cock joke written on it. I went home, I told my wife, she's like, oh my God, what are you gonna do? And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, I mean, are you ever gonna go back there? I'm like, are you out of your mind? That's the funniest fucking doctor in the world. Of course I'm going back there. I have like Don Rickles as my primary care physician. It's amazing. I'm faking injuries to go back to this guy. You know you're a piece of shit. I'm like, yeah, I know.
And I get why you laugh at my physical flaws. Physical flaws are funny. They just are. Disabilities are not. But some are. Most aren't. We know those ones, you know? Like if there's a 10K or a quilt, it's pretty bad. But the rest are up for debate. And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, when is it ever funny? Well, luckily for you, I have 3 examples. First, foreign accent syndrome. Some of you know about it, some of you don't. It's real. You can look it up on your way out of here. Some people experience head trauma. Not funny. But they wake up speaking their native language with a foreign accent. Very funny. I defy you to watch interviews with these people and not piss yourself laughing. Do you understand? Like a farmer in Alabama who's normally like, that guy hits his head and is now like, the tractor trailer, it fell. That's not funny to you, you piece of shit? Really? The best case ever of foreign accent syndrome happened in the UK. Well, not only was it a British woman who lived her entire life in the UK, she'd never left the town she was born in for 33 years. She was in an accident, and she woke up speaking English, but with a Chinese foreign accent. Did you hear what I just fucking said? Do you now believe in God and his awesome sense of humor? A British lady who her whole life was like, hello, it's a bit of a whiffle, isn't it? Like that. Now says, I have not had my conversation for over 3 years now. First of all, do you know how hard it is to do that impression without squinting? Secondly, if you're getting uncomfortable, like, whoa, he's mocking an Asian accent? No, she's white. This is fine. A white British lady just happens to say, will you lie? A cup of tea? Tastes good? You want milk? You want biscuit? Oh, good. You want me to suck the dick now? I don't know, whatever. She's a nice British lady. She can say whatever she wants. Now, if you're sitting in your seat right now and you're like, I don't think it's funny. Well, don't get your tits in a tussle. I got 2 more for you. So, what about persistent genital arousal disorder? That is a fancy way of saying never not coming. These are people that have orgasms every 90 seconds, and they can't have jobs. Why can't they have jobs, Tom? Because they're coming all the time. It's not appropriate for you to be like, can I try on this shirt? And the guy's like, fuck your shirt. I'm gonna wear my old shit. I'm not wearing your fucking shirt. Can you imagine? You're like, oh, we're out of orange juice? Or, oh. Just bring water. That's too much sugar. I don't want any more of that. Some people suffer from both of those afflictions. You know that? It's rare, but it happens. Can you imagine that? That like you just walk up to someone, you're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing away. And he's like, that feels good. I made that one up. That's not true. But that was cheap, but that was fun. Now, if you're still not on board with this, how about an old, reliable one? You know, how about Tourette syndrome? Yeah, maybe you've heard of that. If you haven't, let me tell you. When I was in 5th grade, my parents sent me to a new school on a Wednesday. I'll never forget. It was a Catholic school, and on Wednesdays, they had Mass. So picture you're a new student at a new school, you don't know anybody, and the first thing you're doing is you're going to church. So I walk in, and the priest starts the service. He goes, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the kid in the row in front of me goes, fuck your cunt. And I'm like, Nobody did anything, no one batted an eye. He just goes, Holy Spirit, starts reading from the Bible. This kid goes, lick my balls! Fuck you. I am laughing so goddamn hard. But I know I'm not supposed to laugh. It sounds like I'm having a stroke. I'm 10. I'm like, I have tears running down my face. And finally I'm able to get out, how come nobody else is laughing? And the kid next to me goes, he's got Tourette's. It gets old. 3 years I was at that school. That shit never got old. That was the greatest gift God ever bestowed upon me. And I'll tell you this, the greatest day of my life, up until the day my son was born, was the day we had a substitute teacher that year, and they didn't warn her about him. Your imagination is serving you correctly. It was glorious. I watched a 10-year-old boy break a grown woman's spirit. These poor substitutes, they don't know what's going on in your class, you know? She walked in, somehow they didn't tell her, and she's like, read chapter 3. And then his tics would build, meaning they would start small. So he would sit in class and be like, so she goes, what's going on? And we're like, she doesn't know. And then he would do this every day. He would take markers and paint his own shirt. Again, every day he did it, but she doesn't know about it. So she sees it. She's like, what are you doing? He goes, what do you think, bitch? Ah! Then he starts painting his face with the marker. And she goes, stop that. And he goes, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you. And she's like, what's happening? What's happening? And we go, that's Kevin. Why are you crying so much right now? Like that. And she killed herself. She's dead. So. She's out of teaching, but she's fine. So.
You ever meet somebody and they're so boring, you feel like they poisoned you? Like, you're talking to them and you're like, I feel like I'm dying right now. And I think you did it. This guy's name is Craig. I met him. I made sure to get it. I was like, I'm gonna remember you for the rest of my life, man. I met him at the bank. Is he a bank teller? No. Is he a security guard? Nope. What's his job? I don't know. Whatever they call that guy that stands in the lobby of banks now, where you walk in and you're like, do you work here? And he's like, I think so. That guy? The lobby liaison? Well, I saw him, we made eye contact. I don't know how you work. For me, if we make eye contact during the day, not at night, but during the day, out of human decency, I acknowledge you. So that's what I did. We made eye contact, and I go, how you doing? And he went, and I was like, okay. So then I get to the second set of doors to walk in, and as I reach for that door, I hear, you going to the bank? I go, is this still a bank? He goes, yeah. I go, I'd like to. And he goes, go for it. And I was like, okay, thanks. And then I reach back, and he goes, I'm going to Virginia next week. Are you telling me that? He goes, you said, how you doing when you got here? I had to think about it. That's what I'm doing. I go, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard anybody say. And also not how that question works, but all right. And now I reach back, and he goes, yeah, my sister lives there. And I'm like, how long she lived there? Now I'm roped in. He goes, 15 years. And I go, you've never been? And he goes, Now I'm starting to look at him like, hey man, do you drive to work or does somebody drop you off? You know what I mean? I think he could. Yeah. I think he could see it in my face because out of nowhere he goes, I drive. And I was like, that's cool, man. That's cool. I drive too, that's crazy. I gotta get in here. He goes, yeah, we're gonna check out DC and we're gonna see some monuments. I go, I would love to hear about it, but I have to make a deposit. He goes, well, I'll be here when you walk out. I go, you motherfucker. Fuck that guy, and fuck everybody like him. If you have the audacity to tell people how you're doing when they say, how you doing, that shit is rude and selfish, all right? I'm serious. There are two acceptable answers to how you're doing. Fine and great. And if you're miserable, you say fine. You don't burden people with your real world problems during a courteous exchange. Yeah.
Probably checked into 400 hotels this year. And when I tell you that this has happened to me more than half a dozen times, I am not exaggerating. Every hotel check-in begins usually the same. It's standard. Hotels, the people at the desk, they go, last name? And this just happened to me. Last name? And I go, Segura. And the guy goes, whoa, are you Japanese? And I go, 100%, yeah. And he just goes, oh, we don't get a lot of Japanese people here. That's pretty cool. So I have to stop him and go, hey man, I'm not Japanese. And he goes, Segura. Segura! Sounds Japanese. I go, that's because you're saying it Japanese. I could be Smith, and if you want to go Smith, it's Japanese. He goes, well, what are you? Which is fucking rude. Can I just say it's never important to ask that question? What are you? It's never important to ask that. It's sometimes important, but not a lot. When is it important? Sushi chef, accountant, 100-meter dash. Outside of that, sometimes it matters. So I tell him, I go, Segura is Spanish. And he goes, that's weird. You look white. And I go, I am white. And he goes, but you're Spanish? And I go, correct. He goes, do you speak Spanish? I said, yes. He goes, so you're Mexican? And I go, no. And he goes, I don't know what's going on. I said, what's going on is you failed fucking social studies. And you're not too good at geography either. And then I see his head drop, like he feels bad. I'm like, look, man, you understand there's white people in Mexico. You know that part. And he goes, no, I don't. I said, there's white people there, there's black people there, there's even Asian people there. And if you really want to shit your pants, those Asian people, they speak Spanish too. You don't expect it, but they're like, dim sum, muy rico, si lo quiero probar, si no lo quiero probar, concha tu madre, nadie te quiere, anda la mierda. They are Asian, and they speak Spanish.
That porn has gotten way too aggressive these days. It's way too aggressive. You know where it's at? 80s porn. Yeah. Go to your dad's drawer. Pull out a VHS. Watch an 80s porn. That's when porn was fun and exciting and consensual. And they had 80s porn had fun little plot lines like, I've lost all my pants! What am I gonna do with this cock? And then some girl will be like, you can keep it in here for a week. And these days, it's all choking and spit my mouth, spit my eye. Everyone's spitting on everybody. And the titty slapping. Right? Not cool. Not sexy. No. Do you like having your titties slapped? No. You like it like that. Or even like if it's from behind, like a. But not like. Stop slapping titties. That's where mama's milk comes from, alright? That's what this show's all about. That's what I want you to leave with today. My message for 08. To change America. Stop slapping titties. Thank you guys very much.
A few years ago, I was in Washington, D.C., and I was sharing a cab with a woman I didn't know. Never met her before in my life. We're splitting the cab. Midway through the ride, as I'm looking out my window, I hear the woman go, hey. And I thought she was gonna be like, hey, like you wanna fuck or something? And I was gonna be like, I can't, I'm married, so make it quick, all right? I look over, I'm like, what is it? And she goes, is this yours? And she's holding a wallet. And I go, no, it's not mine. And she goes, oh, it must be the previous rider's wallet. I'll just give it to the driver. And I go, don't do that, look at him. He looks like a cab driver. He probably smokes crack every once in a while. You can't trust these guys. I go, give it to me. I'll get it back to the rightful owner. And she goes, really? And I go, yeah. She gives me the wallet. Now I feel obligated to find the owner. But here's the honest to God truth. I really want to. I've always dreamed about finding a wallet. I don't know why. I dreamed I would find a wallet, I would open it, it would have $1,000 in it, I would get it back to the rightful owner, and it would turn out to be like Will Smith, and then he'd be like, do you want a helicopter? And I'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, I got a family in Denver, do you like furniture? So I open this wallet, it has $2, a grocery store rewards card, and a community college ID. So I have found not Will Smith's wallet. But I still try to do the right thing. I call the grocery store, I explain the situation, and I go, can you help me out? And they go, no. We're a grocery store. We don't track people down. Eggs are on sale. Go fuck yourself. And I was like, cool, thank you for your help. Then I call the community college, and I speak to literally every department in the community college for 4.5 hours. Before I finally get a contact number, I call the number, and a man answers the phone who I can only imagine has never used a phone before. Because he actually answers the phone with a noise. So just to break this shit down, I don't know if you've ever used a phone before, but usually when you call someone and they pick it up, they say, hello? That's fucking it. That's what people say when they answer the phone. Maybe if they're in a bad mood, what? Those are the two options. This man answers the phone, picks it up, and he goes, And I go, hello? And he goes, And I go, I'm gonna talk, and then you talk. And he goes, yeah. Like it was the first time someone explained to him how fucking phone calls work. Up until that point, he's just like, that made a noise, I'm gonna make a noise too. So I go, hey, I found this wallet. I was given your number. I'm trying to return the wallet. And he says, it's probably my son's wallet. He's always losing shit because he's a piece of shit. That's the first thing. I don't even know how to respond. I'm like, I go, well, can I give him his shit back? He goes, he's a real asshole. And I go, we're talking about your son right now? And he goes, yeah, I don't think he's going to amount to anything. I go, Jesus Christ. I go, maybe he will amount to something if he gets his wallet back. And he goes, yeah, I'll let him know you called. And then he hangs up the phone without taking my information. So his plan is to go to his son and be like, some guy found your wallet. Yeah, I don't fucking know. And he's like, walk away. So I'm super frustrated. I try to do the right thing, right? I forget about the wallet. A year goes by. A calendar year. I go back to DC. I go in town, I call a friend. We go to a restaurant, just a random restaurant. We sit down, and the waiter comes up to take our order, and I go, Justin? And he goes, how do you know my name? And I go, dude, I have your wallet. And he goes, oh, do you have it on you? I go, no, I don't fucking walk around with your wallet. I don't go, I got my wallet and I got Justin's wallet. Now I'm ready to go out. No, you fucking psycho. And he goes, do you want to hear about today's specials? And I go, do you want to acknowledge that this is an amazing moment in both of our lives? And he goes, what do you mean? What do I mean? I found your wallet in a cab in DC a year ago. I don't know how many cabs are here, but I think it's a lot. I got told no 100 times by 100 people trying to find you. My hotel room used to look like an episode of NCIS. There was pins and charts connecting shit to each other. I spoke to your father, who's not a fan. I don't know if you knew that or not. I come to a restaurant at random. I get seated in your section, and I recognize you from your ID that's burned into my memory. You don't think that's fucking amazing? And he goes, we have a prime rib special. We also have a penne pasta. I can't eat. I'm like, what the fuck? He comes by, I go, look, I don't want to make a big thing here, but I do remember that I have your wallet in my bag in my hotel room. If you want to come by, I will give you your wallet. And he goes, okay. I go back to the hotel. I hear a knock at the door, and now I'm expecting him to lose his shit. I think the situation merits freaking the fuck out. I think he was playing it cool, and now he's gonna be like, I didn't want to say this earlier, we should open a surf shop in Maui together. You know, or like, this is my newborn son, I want you to have him, like that shit. So I hear a knock at the door, I open the door, I'm like, hey, and he goes, hey, you got my wallet? And I go, yeah. And I give it to him, and he goes, cool. And he turns around, and he walks away. No. It's not cool. So I open the door, and I see him about to get on the elevator. I go, hey, Justin! And he goes, yeah. And I go, your dad's right. You're a fucking asshole, and you're never gonna amount to anything. And I shut the fucking door. God, it's so weird. People ask me, I get asked fucking travel advice from strangers. Can we just break down how crazy that is? Like, people come up to me and they're like, hey, you travel a lot, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, where should I go? I don't fucking know you, man. You ask travel advice to people who know you intimately. They know you well. They can guide you based on what they know about you. I mean, you don't ask strangers' dining advice, right? Because you're like, hey, where should I eat tonight? I know I've never met you before in my life, but do you think you could give me a recommendation? Yeah, you should try this dim sum place. But then that person might go, oh, I hate the Asian world. And you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that about you. Like, yeah, I killed like 4 of them. Like, what are you, like a serial killer or something? Yeah. Now you're in an awkward conversation with a serial killer. Here's all I'm saying. I can't tell you where to go. I can tell you where not to go. Wherever they film the first 48 on A&E. Oh, if you're not familiar with the show, here's what it is. Camera crews follow real homicide detectives for the first 48 hours after a murder. And the reason that that time distinction is so important is that after 48 hours, they give up on that murder. They're like, that's some old shit. What do you want to do today? You're like, how about you keep trying to solve that murder, man? That shit happened on Monday. It's Wednesday. We're not going to solve that shit. Really. There are so many amazing moments on that show. So many. A lot of the episodes take a similar path. I'm blown away, first of all, at how many times there's a witness to a murder. It's crazy. I always thought murders happen in dark alleys. Nobody saw shit. No. Every other episode, they're like, you see that shit? And the guy's like, I saw that shit, yeah. Where? Right fucking here. Really, I was standing here, and then he killed that dude there. What'd he look like? He was like 5'2" to 6'8", something like that. And they're like, that's the fucking description you're gonna give us? Uh-huh. Anything else about him? Yeah, he had ears too. Thanks, man. No problem. They still will sketch that shit out. And they show it to people. Do you know this guy? And everyone's like, nah. But then one guy will be like, yeah! That's Cricket right there. You're like, oh shit. You know him? I've been knowing Cricket 27 years. What's his real name? Man, that's just Cricket. I don't even know. Stop being white and weird. That's a perfect fucking impression, and you know exactly who that was, okay? Yeah, it's a black guy, and he's wearing a wife beater, and he's got on a dirty hat, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And he looks like he's about 33, but you find out he's 76 years old. And he speaks super aggressively to the cops. I've been out here for a minute! And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. When was the last time you saw him? He came through with jellyfish last week. They were looking for some smoke. And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. They always cut to the whitest detective from that guy, too. They cut from that guy to the guy who's like, I don't think he's gonna help us out. We're gonna have to find Cricket on our own. That show has the best moment in television. It's the most dramatic thing you could ever see, because it's real life, and that is the interrogation. The interrogation is amazing, because here's the thing about drama. If you want to have a great, dramatic moment, raise the stakes. Guess what? There's no higher stakes than somebody being questioned about taking somebody else's life. It's inherently compelling television. It is also super serious. But the detectives insist on using the suspect's street name, so the whole thing turns into a fucking cartoon. Like, they're literally like, your life is on the line. We need to talk to you. Why don't you have a seat? Little stank, why don't you sit down for a second? Did you or did you not know Dookie shoes? I don't know no Dookie shoes. I got a picture of you hanging out with Dookie shoes. I mean, I seen them. I don't know. And then they'll throw one bit of evidence against the wall, hoping it'll solve the case. They'll be like, well, we were talking to Namin, and he said that you were at the 7-Eleven last week. And he'll be like, yeah, I shot him in the face. And you're like, God damn, really? That's all it took to break you? Dude, lie. Lie for longer. You can kill somebody, you can't lie for 10 fucking minutes about it? Like, dudes will break on anything. They'll be like, we heard you had on a blue shirt last Friday. Yeah, I stabbed those 4 people. Dude, a lot of people have blue shirts, man. You can still get out of this. Here's what I've learned watching that show, okay? Lawyer up. You can't handle that shit. Everybody's like, I'm gonna talk to the cops and straighten this whole thing out. You're gonna do 25 to life. Have fun with that, man. Nobody asked for a lawyer. I've seen 300 people get interrogated on this show. 2 of them were like, can I talk to a lawyer? And both times the detectives were like, fuck! And then at the end of those episodes, it said on the screen, all charges against Tayshaun were dropped. Or Jim, pick a fucking name. Let's be honest, there's no Jims on the show. I've seen every episode, and none start with, hey Bryce, can we talk to you for a second, man? Where were you last Friday? I was over at Tanner's house. Then Skylar had a party, so we went over there. And then we picked up Connor and we had pancakes. Sorry, bro. The detective, bro.
I'll tell you on a grand scale who's helping nobody lose weight. It's Starbucks. This is true. They have a national training campaign to try to trick you into ordering food. And this is why. They know you're going to order a beverage. So they try to lead you into food. Pull into any Starbucks drive-thru, and now they greet you. They say, welcome to Starbucks. What can we get started for you to eat today? And you're like, wait, what? I just wanted coffee. And they're like, no shit. What else do you want? So then you're like, I don't know, sausage? Like, what do you have? I don't respect that. I like my shame straight up and honest. And nobody does that better than the West Coast burger chain In-N-Out. And if you've never been in In-N-Out, get your fucking life together and go. And I want you to go simply so you can experience the most shameful and honest question in all of fast food. Because you pull up and you go, I'll have a double, fries and a Coke. And they go, will you be eating in the car? Yeah, I think so. And they go, I bet you will, you fat fucking pile of garbage. Doesn't that question sting? You're like, am I living in my car? Why am I eating in my car? Because if you say no, they give you a bag and they're like, leave with dignity. But if you say yes, it's an open tray and they go, eat out of that, pig. And then it falls in your lap and they go, pick it up. And you're like, and they go, are you gonna jerk off when you get home because you're lonely? And you're like, yeah. We're gonna give you a free milkshake because you're bumming everybody out. We're fast food workers. You're making us sad. Get the fuck out of here.
Sometimes you witness the power imbalance play out in front of you between the genders in a grotesque fashion. Of course, when I say the genders, I am only speaking of 2 of the several hundred that now exist. I would like it to be clear where I stand. I have no problem calling anybody anything they wish to be called. It is no burden on me. You can identify as a shoelace if you want to. And I will call you Zippity Zimzer if you ask me to. Do I think it's a little silly? Yeah, but so is badminton, and that's an Olympic event, you know? So here's what happened. I was shooting a movie a few months back, and one day we wrapped up kind of early for filmmaking. It was late afternoon, and I walk off set, and I notice there's a bar across the street. I go, I'm gonna walk into this bar, have a drink, go back to the hotel. Simple enough, right? I walk in, I see a woman seated at the bar doing what I can only describe as weird shit. If you're like, what do you mean, Tom? Well, I think there's a normal spectrum of behavior that you see from one seated at a bar. You know, if you see them seated there, you might see them go like this, or like, hey, or maybe even, ha ha ha. This lady is seated at the bar and she's going, I'm like, is she making fudge? What is she doing over there? I also notice it late. Like I notice it as I'm walking past it. That happens sometimes, right? Like you walk, you see something as you're passing it, you're like, that's some crazy shit, and you keep walking. And then you're like, I need to see that again. I don't know how I'm gonna see it again. Now I'm dead center, and I see that a woman, to be clear, is in public, 4:30 in the afternoon, and she is sitting there fucking peeling her potato. I don't know, playing with her pussy. You know what I'm trying to say. And she is not hot, if you're wondering. If you're like, was she super hot? No, she wasn't. And because of that, I tattletaled immediately. You know what's up. So I go to the bouncer, I go, excuse me. That not model over there is diddling herself at the bar. And this big yoked dude looked, and he goes, I go, yeah, talk to her. And he goes, mm-mm. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, I don't want anything to do with that shit. I'm like, I don't think anybody does. There's a woman masturbating at the bar. He's like, ugh, like he's put out by my outrageous request. He's like, all right, man, Jesus Christ. So he gets up, he walks like halfway there, turns around, he goes, yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I go, you have to. So he calls over the hostess, this cute little 22-year-old. He's like, what's up, guys? And he goes, handle that. And she's like, okay. She goes over there, super polite, which is fucked up, considering the circumstances. I can't hear her, but I could read her body language. She's like, hi. And she's like, everybody can see you. And then she goes, stop it. Stop. And she goes, you promise? And she goes, thank you. And she comes back and she goes, she stopped. I'm like, she finished or she stopped? She goes, she stopped. And I go, okay. I'm like, wait, is she allowed to stay? And she goes, yeah. I go, why? And she goes, because she stopped. I go, I'm sorry, would I be allowed to stay? If I was just sitting at your bar, just kind of toying with the top, you know, like. Would you tap me on the shoulder and be like, excuse me, will you put your leaky dick back into your pants? Thanks, you want some chicken fingers or Sprite or something? I say, you called a SWAT team, and they would rappel into the building. Someone would crack my fucking head on the side of the bar, and you'd have a parade as my corpse was carried out. As she goes, you're right about that. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. I don't jerk off in bars.
I still haven't found a place for it, but I'm working on it. So I met, like I said, I'm meeting a lot of people. I met a woman after a show recently. They're allowed at my shows. And see, they're here. And she came up to me and she was like, it's a very specific woman, all right? I do feel like I just did a 0.02 second impression. And everybody's like, I know exactly who you're talking about right now. Because every city has. You know my favorite part of that woman is if you go, why are you laughing? She'll go, I'm not. Okay. So she comes up to me and she goes, funny show. And I go, thanks. Thanks, motherfucker, I appreciate it. So I go, thank you. And she goes, are you gonna go jerk off all over your hotel room now? I was like, ugh. I said, I'm probably just gonna pick a spot. You know, I'm not gonna do it. She goes, yeah, I get it. And I was like, God. And she goes, I'm super horny. And I go, okay. She goes, I'm horny the way guys are. And I go, no, you're not. And she goes, yeah. And I said, you're really not. And she goes, yeah, why do you say that? And I said, let me tell you a little story. When I was a freshman in college, I looked like this. I looked 47 years old. It was alarming to other students. They would see me walking through the doors and they'd be like, are you a fucking administrator here or something? I'd be like, I'm a freshman, I'm 18. And they're like, you're a narc, that's what you are. This is my birth face, man. I'm 41 Jump Street. So, with this face came great responsibility. I bought alcohol for our entire dorm. I don't mean 3 or 4, everybody. It wasn't even a challenge. I looked so old that when I walked into liquor stores, they'd be like, hello, sir, how's the stock market today? Shit like that. I bought booze to everybody. Everybody got booze. I did the same thing with pornography. And let me tell you, before you jump at me like, why would you do that? You just watch it in your dorm room online. Well, the story takes place in 1997. And there was a lot of buffering back then. That is the truth. I don't know if you remember the late 90s or if you were even around, but like porn in the late 90s was like, Who am I kidding? I use my right hand, so. Now, keep in mind, I'm not buying porn for a couple buddies. It is for an entire building of 18-year-old freshman dudes in college. You can't wrap your head around how massive and specific these orders were. I would go door to door, and guys would hand me cash and their wish list. They'd be like, I want black cocks, asses, and feet. Don't fuck it up. I'm like, all right. Do you know what kind of a psychopath I looked like? Walking through a porn store with a grocery list, like... Mom said not to forget. So one day, I am buying outrageous amounts of porn. And the owner of the store comes up to me. He goes, you should go to this other store. And I'm like, that is a weird thing to tell your best customer, man. So I go, why? And he just goes, I just think you'll like it. And so I go, okay. I go. He sends me to, I don't know if you've ever been to a cement block building with no sign or address. The kind of building that's like, I don't know, you fucking guess what's in here. Like that? Well, I walk in and I see a man wearing overalls and no t-shirt, which I think we all know is the international uniform for the last guy you'll ever see. Now, this guy is behind the counter. He looks up and sees me, and the first words out of his mouth are, piss fetish? And I go, what? No. And he goes, oh, I got a full bladder. Don't want to waste it. And I go, what the fuck? I said, is that what you do around here? And he goes, among other things. And I said, well then, show me around. Like, let me see what else you have. I don't want to be closed-minded. So we go through the store. He shows me movies and toys. He goes, we got a booth. You can put in a quarter. And I go, yeah, I got it. He goes, but this here's our VIP. And you'll notice there's a hole in the wall. And if you're standing in there, someone might stick their finger through that hole. And they'll go just like this. And if you want to, you stick your prick in that hole and someone will suck it on the other side. And my dumbass goes, is it a guy or a girl? He goes, you see any other cars in that parking lot, Junior? So then I felt a pool of diarrhea forming inside of me and fear shooting down my spine, as I was certain I was gonna get kidnapped and raped by Mr. Fuck Dynasty. So I said, I'll just take my movies, thanks. So lady, when you say you're horny the way guys are, I ask you, are you willing to go into an unmarked building and wait behind a wall for a stranger to stick his dick through a hole in that wall and then you polish it off for the love of the game? Because that's what savages men are. And she goes, yeah, I'm not that horny. And I go, I know. See, I just feel a responsibility to remind women of what pigs men are. If you're a woman and you're here with a man right now, you should know he is 2 drinks away from walking into that booth. And honestly, I'm no better. If he had answered my question differently, if I'd been like, hey, is that a guy or a girl? And he went, I don't know. I'd be like, well, I don't fucking know either. So, wow, she's got a rough chin on her for sure. Hey, where'd you go, man? I don't see anywhere. All right, I lost some of you on that one. That's fine. That's how that goes. So, I know, I see. Some women are like, my man would never do that. Okay, sure.
Oh, the crocodile hunter has died. But you know what? He had to die to balance out the universe, all right? If he would have lived to be 104 and died of fucking hay fever or something, the earth would have exploded, all right? Because he ignored one of the universal rules, which is don't fuck with animals, right? But he didn't just ignore it, did he? No. He waved his dick at it, didn't he? Yeah. He danced the foxtrot around it, you know? And all I'm saying is, if you're gonna run around the world and bang hookers every day for 20 years without a condom, you can't cry when it burns. Right? And normally speaking, don't you, whenever you hear of like a person getting attacked by an animal, don't you get kind of a little kick in your step? I'm the only asshole in this fucking room, really? I feel like somebody gave me a hug every time I hear about that shit. I don't give a fuck. Because there's a sense of justice to it. The person was probably fucking with the animal's territory, so I'm like, you deserve that, you dick. Like, haven't you ever seen the footage of the hunter he was out to kill, and his gun jams, and then a deer fucks him up? You seen it, right? He's like, oh, my shit, my gun jammed. Cock-a-doodle-doo. And then there's a little gangster-ass deer across the street, just eating berries and being pretty. And he hears something. He's like, are you gonna shoot me, man? And then it doesn't even hesitate. It just goes, pow, like that. And he does the front shit where the guy goes down, and he does the back shit, like, I'm so fat, I'm out of breath just from doing that shit right there. Christ almighty. My friend, I can hear her audibly say, I can't believe I'm thinking that. And I go, thinking what? And she goes, oh, nothing. And I go, what is it? She goes, it's embarrassing. And I go, well, just tell me. She goes, if I tell you, you'll make fun of me. And I go, I always make fun of you. Just say it. And she goes, no, it's just something, you know, I want to keep inside. I go, but you said you want to do it, so just say it, and then you can make it happen. She goes, I don't want to. I go, listen, if you don't put it out in the universe, it'll never happen. You got to say it. What is it? And she goes, okay, I want to blow somebody in the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, I immediately think, what would my mom say, you know? And I tell myself, don't be like mom. This is this girl's dream. So I look her dead in her eyes, and I go, you should try. There's a bunch of them. That's what I said. Now, 3 months later, she got on their tour bus, and she told them, and guess what? They all accepted. If you are not familiar, there are 9 guys
in the Wu-Tang Clan. 9. So many guys. That's so many. Can we park for a moment at how many dicks 9 is? I don't even understand how anyone's sitting in their seat right now. There's people out here like, what else you got? Are you shitting me? That's not a lot. Close your eyes and picture 9 dicks. You're like, oh my God, they're everywhere. Yeah, because there's 9 of them. That's why. I'm not slut shaming. I'm saying objectively, 9 is a lot of anything. Like if I was like, I had cinnamon rolls today, and you're like, how many did you have? I had 9. You want me to take you to the emergency room, or you're gonna lose a foot by the morning? We should go. 9 dicks? Are you fucking shitting me? Some of you, it took you 15 years to get to 9 dicks. This was a Thursday for this young lady. Try to imagine the physical labor involved with blowing 9 probably not small dicks. If you're not aware, the Wu-Tang fellas don't look like me, all right? That is some CrossFit shit at that level. If you think burpees are rough, try. Am I doing good? Do you like me now? Like, after how many do you think she was like, let's take a little break for a second? What the fuck am I doing? Why are they so mean about it? How many is that? 4? Fuck. Am I done? And they're like, no, you're not done. You got RZA, Ray, Ghost, Meth? No, you're not done. And she's like, but my neck hurts. And they're like, you gotta protect your neck. Don't you listen to our music? Yes. That is a top shelf Wu-Tang blowjob joke. Now, she was a real animal, you know. I asked her one time, I was like, if you could go back to that day and do anything differently, what would you have done? And she said, I'd have skipped lunch. So,
I met, like I said, I'm meeting a lot of people. I met a woman after a show recently. They're allowed at my shows. And see, they're here. And she came up to me and she was like, it's a very specific woman, all right? I do feel like I just did a 0.02 second impression. And everybody's like, I know exactly who you're talking about right now. So, because every city has. You know my favorite part of that woman is if you go, why are you laughing? She'll go, I'm not. Okay. So she comes up to me and she goes, funny show. And I go, thanks. Thanks, motherfucker, I appreciate it. So I go, thank you. And she goes, are you gonna go jerk off all over your hotel room now? And I was like, ugh. I said, I'm probably just gonna pick a spot. You know, I'm not gonna do it. She goes, yeah, I get it. And I was like, good. And she goes, I'm super horny. And I go, okay. She goes, I'm horny the way guys are. And I go, no, you're not. And she goes, yeah. And I said, you're really not. And she goes, yeah, why do you say that? And I said, let me tell you a little story. When I was a freshman in college, I looked like this. I looked 47 years old. It was alarming to other students. They would see me walking through the doors, and they'd be like, are you a fucking administrator here or something? I'd be like, I'm a freshman, I'm 18. And they're like, you're a narc, that's what you are. This is my birth face, man. I'm 41 Jump Street. So, with this face came great responsibility. I bought alcohol for our entire dorm. I don't mean 3 or 4, everybody. It wasn't even a challenge. I looked so old that when I walked into liquor stores, they'd be like, hello, sir, how's the stock market today? Shit like that. I bought booze to everybody. Everybody got booze. I did the same thing with pornography. And let me tell you, before you jump at me like, why would you do that? You just watch it in your dorm room online. Well, the story takes place in 1997. And there was a lot of buffering back then. That is the truth. I don't know if you remember the late 90s or if you were even around, but like porn in the late 90s was like, ha ha, Who am I kidding? I use my right hand, so, Now, keep in mind, I'm not buying porn for a couple buddies. It is for an entire building of 18-year-old freshman dudes in college. You can't wrap your head around how massive and specific these orders were. I would go door to door, and guys would hand me cash and their wish list. They'd be like, I want black cocks, asses, and feet. Don't fuck it up. I'm like, all right. Do you know what kind of a psychopath I looked like? Walking through a porn store with a grocery list, like... Mom said not to forget. So one day, I am buying outrageous amounts of porn. And the owner of the store comes up to me. He goes, you should go to this other store. And I'm like, that is a weird thing to tell your best customer, man. So I go, why? He just goes, I just think you'll like it. And so I go, okay. I go. He sends me to, I don't know if you've ever been to a cement block building with no sign or address. The kind of building that's like, I don't know, you fucking guess what's in here. Like that? Well, I walk in and I see a man wearing overalls and no t-shirt, which I think we all know is the international uniform for the last guy you'll ever see. Now, this guy is behind the counter. He looks up and sees me, and the first words out of his mouth are, piss fetish? And I go, what? No. And he goes, oh, I got a full bladder. Don't want to waste it. And I go, what the fuck? I said, is that what you do around here? And he goes, among other things. And I said, well then, show me around. Like, let me see what else you have. You know? I don't want to be closed-minded. So we go through the store. He shows me movies and toys. He goes, we got a booth. You can put in a quarter. And I go, yeah, I got it. He goes, but this here's our VIP. And you'll notice there's a hole in the wall. And if you're standing in there, someone might stick their finger through that hole. And they'll go, just like this. And if you want to, you stick your prick in that hole and someone will suck it on the other side. And my dumbass goes, is it a guy or a girl? And he goes, you see any other cars in that parking lot, Junior? So then I felt a pool of diarrhea forming inside of me and fear shooting down my spine, as I was certain I was gonna get kidnapped and raped by Mr. Fuck Dynasty. So I said, I'll just take my movies, thanks. So lady, when you say you're horny the way guys are, I ask you, are you willing to go into an unmarked building and wait behind a wall for a stranger to stick his dick through a hole in that wall and then you polish it off for the love of the game? Because that's what savages men are. And she goes, yeah, I'm not that horny. And I go, I know. See, I just feel a responsibility to remind women of what pigs men are. If you're a woman and you're here with a man right now, you should know he is 2 drinks away from walking into that booth. And honestly, I'm no better. If he had answered my question differently, if I'd have been like, hey, is that a guy or a girl? And he went, I don't know. I'd be like, well, I don't fucking know either. So. Wow, she's got a rough chin on her for sure. Hey, where'd you go, man? I don't see you anywhere. All right. All right, I lost some of you on that one. That's fine. That's how that goes. So, I know, I see. Some women are like, My man would never do that. Okay, sure.